for the fetch results. It's like very subtle things like that that really show your prowess and knowledge of a deck. I think there was that by Alien, and then I think the untap upkeep fetch after the Brainstorm from Solomon.
Also, blind flipping countering spells.
Yeah,
he's a real master of that.
Yeah, I mean, somebody's got to do it, right? Why play spells with mana cost if you're not going to blind flip them?
Yeah. You can tell I'm still salty from my last round.
You were
lost
pissed.
Alien.
I was
not happy.
Finds a counterbalance. Finds 2 ponders. That's exactly what he wants, I think.
Listen, when you cast 3 lethal spells in a row and they all get blind flipped, it can be frustrating.
Well, you know, sometimes your opponent draws 3 lethal spells off the top and it gets salty.
Was it off the top?
It never is. It never is. So it looks like Alien does not want to draw the counterbalance. Elects to shuffle. Top again. Do the same thing.
I wonder why he didn't want that counterbalance.
I feel like that's the one card he's looking for. Because you can just fetch the next turn and get rid of the 2 ponders.
Or you could just play Mentor and ponder twice with counterbalance top and play.
Yeah, you know, I like that a lot
go
too.
Nuts. He still has the Mentor, right?
Yeah, he's still got Mentor in hand. He finds another top, Brainstorm, and a ponder, so basically the exact same top, except this time it's a top instead of a counterbalance, which you definitely don't want. So if he keeps this one, I'm not sure what's going on. Especially when you have a Brainstorm in hand, I don't think you want to waste all these fetches.
That
one. Draw for the turn. Not a Terminus. Just a ponder. Is Mentor the play here? Alien has a hand that does a lot of things. He's got a lot of options here.
I think the time to just keep sitting here is kind of... I think he can actually... Like last game, he showed that he didn't want to try and race with Mentor. You know, he didn't want to lose it. But I think he's favored in the long game anyway. Mm-hmm. And I think saying, hey, answer this Mentor or die here.
So Alien's going to ponder, finds a counterbalance. Doesn't matter that he shuffled it away.
No.
He'll be able to drop that. Solomon has a force will. He'll be able to force, but Alien has some interaction of his own. He's also got some big spells. Alien shuffles again. He does not want these counterbalances.
Well, he is constrained on blue mana because he has those 2 planes, so he would have to tap all his blue mana. I think he's looking for lands here.
Interesting. Okay.
Is that what he's looking for?
It must be.
Because he can't fetch a Tundra and he doesn't want to get cut off blue. There's the Terminus. Alright, well.
We got a Brainstorm. We're going to set up the Terminus here.
Man, he's using a lot of resources to avoid taking 3 damage. I think he could take 3 damage for a couple turns.
I think he could probably take 6 or 9 damage. After that point, it starts getting a little weird, but I don't even think that you want to set up the Terminus here. I don't think this is the right time for it. And he keeps the Sensei's Divining Top? That seems so strange to me. I don't think you want 2 Sensei's Divining Tops right now, especially not without a counterbalance. It changes if you have got the countertop combo in play, having another one is nice, because then you can still Miracle Spells on your opponent's turn and still have countertop in play.
Mm-hmm, definitely. I think Solomon is kind of going to wreck Alien here. He's going to see it coming too, because he has double Stifle, which Alien's going to try and Red Blast.
Mm-hmm. And then just stifle it again.
Yeah, and he'll just stifle the Terminus again.
There's another Lightning Bolt, and Death Ray Challenge, and a Wasteland. And Alien's pretty aggressively fetching basics to play around the Wasteland that Solomon has presented. And Solomon's going to say, I'm going to have 2.
Don't cast it.
Oh, man. He needs to cast Double Stifle, doesn't he? See a top activation. Alien's got to jam the Terminus here, right?
The way Alien fired off that main phase Brainstorm, I would be getting a heavy whiff of Terminus if I was Solomon.
I would smell it. I want to see a stifle though. Maybe Solomon's like, yeah, you know what, I'm going to bait you into this. I'm going to stifle that. And Alien, of course,
he's going to blast.
He's going to flip top. He's going to draw a card. It's a counterspell. Put the top on top of his library. Fire off counterspell.
You think that's just because he really values that red blast, or he really doesn't want to get a vault here?
Is it weird that I would have wasted the fetch land in response to the top flip? Do you think there's a line there?
Well, here's the thing. He's going to shuffle anyway, right? Isn't he definitely shuffling this turn?
Not necessarily. He hasn't shown that he is.
I don't think you have to do it in response.
Okay. So
because
Fire Blast.
He's not afraid. He has the Stifle. Man, Solomon really should have.
Yeah, I think if he had left up Stifle mana instead of casting Death Ray Shaman.
Yeah, there is another Lightning Bolt. Mm-hmm. He just cannot get rid of those things. Mm-hmm.
He finds a Pyroblast. He's got Pyroblast, Ponder, and an Island. Now I'm seeing so many cards in his deck. I really like watching Miracles players do this. They can just filter through their deck so effectively using Top and Ponder and Brainstorm. Soon to be cards like Jace the Mind Sculptor, which I gotta imagine is coming down either this turn or the next turn. I think Mentor's coming down this turn. Nope, looks like it's a Jace. Jace is the place. So Alien's gonna try and Brainstorm. Solomon's gonna respond with a Lightning Bolt. Still 1 for 0. And that's a Supreme Verdict, it looks like. It's a good sweeper. I think you want that. You just don't want it right now after you just resolve the Terminus.
Yeah, it's a good card against Solomon. He has some pretty hard to answer threats by traditional means.
Absolutely. And these Delver decks, well, they're a little bit underpowered. They're very disruptive. And so not giving your Delver player decisions, like opportunities to make decisions, can be very punishing for them. Solomon's going to Brainstorm here, but I don't think he's got a fetch land, so I think he might just have to Brainstorm block here.
Yeah, his cards are all okay, though.
Yeah. Lightning Bolt's a little clunky in this matchup, I feel. Like, it has its job. There are certain situations where that's the only card you want, and there's a lot of situations where it's not anywhere close to the card.
Yeah.
Solomon's going to play a waste.
I wonder if he just doesn't have other better options.
Yeah, that's quite possible. I think you want to leave in a couple, just not a lot, and Solomon's just been drawing all of them. Interesting. So Alien just said end step, flip top. I guess he's going to play Mentor and then jam top. Okay, that makes sense. Never mind.
Get a 1-1 at least.
Yeah. Free 1-1. Absolutely.
And he can get another one if he wants it.
I think you do. You're not really doing anything with this mana besides activating top. So
well, and also he might be able to find a fetch land to hold up Red Blast.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. Solomon, he sees the writing on the wall. He's going to go ahead and pick him up. We're going to head into game 3. Alien taking that one. And I feel like the misplay there, if Solomon had elected to not play the Deathrite Shaman that turn, have double Stifle up for the Terminus, he would have been in very good shape.
Yeah, I feel like that concession was a little bit early. Didn't he have a Lightning Bolt in hand?
He did. Alien was at 15, though.
He doesn't think he can beat 2 Monk tokens?
I guess not. To be fair, that's like a pretty impressive board very, very quickly. And if Miracles ever gets ahead on tempo, the deck is just so backbreaking.
Yeah, it is good. But, that being said, he was facing down 2 Monk tokens.
Yeah.
I think he could have beaten... Well, he has Bolt, right? And I don't think Alien didn't have an answer for it. He just had Pyro Blast.
That's true, he had Pyro Blast. Yeah, so you bolt the Mentor.
And he's facing 2 1/1s. I think he can beat that.
Yeah, I think it's definitely
True name, Gurmag Angler beats that.
Absolutely.
He's got a lot of draws. Did he have a Brainstorm?
I think, no, he Brainstorm locked himself.
It wasn't that bad, though. He had spells.
Yeah, he still had action. He could still do things. But, he elected to scoop. We're going into game 3 now.
This is the championship. Solomon's got to fight to the bitter end.
Yeah, I agree.
I know they're not playing for money here, so he's probably tired. I'm tired. Or okay.
Yeah, they're tired. They're sleepy. Not a huge deal. They'll be okay. I've been casting all day. 7 rounds plus caught the top 8. I got a 1-round break. Besides that, just going straight through. Jordan looked like he was just about done, so it was very nice of you to offer to come into the booth.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty tired myself. Casting Lava Spike, Rift Bolt, it's exhausting.
Yeah. Removing counters, putting a pen on top of your life or on top of your deck to make sure you don't miss that upkeep trigger.
Yeah, actually, I've
you
played
miss a
some
couple
long games. I missed a lethal kill once, but I didn't miss any Rift Bolt triggers.
Okay.
Not today, anyway. I have missed it in the past.
So I'm just going to start out with an Underground Sea and Deathrite Shaman. Both these players kept their 7. Alien has the answer. He's got Swords of Plowshares, but he also has a Spell Snare. And so he's got to decide, does he want to Swords of Plowshares this Deathrite Shaman, or does he want to hold up Spell Snare for Solomon's turn 2 Young Pyromancer? That's really what he's got to decide.
When I first looked at Solomon's deck, I was a little skeptical of it. I kind of like it.
It's good.
It's growing on me.
Yeah, he's very good at the deck, too. He makes a lot of very, very good decisions when he plays it. And a lot of people expect to be playing against Delver decks, and Solomon's deck is a lot grindier than that.
It's a lot grindier, and I like how difficult his threats are to answer. And he's
very spread apart. So we're going to see a Swords of Plowshares hit that Deathrite Shaman, and Solomon does not have the Young Pyromancer to punish Alien for that.
There is one thing
he does have the Young Pyromancer. Solomon just did not play it.
There's one thing I'm not crazy about Solomon's deck is he doesn't have any way to kill a Tarmogoyf.
Yeah. Dismember, Snuff Out, those are big ones. Doesn't have it. Roast even. I've seen some people play that card in this format.
Really?
Yeah, it's a little slow for me. The fact it's 2 mana and sorcery speed is pretty bad.
Sorcery speed. I think we do better. He can play Terminate.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We're playing Roast.
Yeah, good point. That was in a different list. That was not in Solomon's deck.
Okay.
Definitely possible. I've seen Jund play Roast before. And I've seen Grixis twin in Modern play it as well.
That can't possibly be right.
It seems wrong. It seems very incorrect. Solomon's going to draw a land for the turn and pass the turn back to Allian. And now Solomon's in an awkward spot where Allian's Spell Snare is going to be online probably for the rest of the game.
Spell Snare is one of my least favorite cards in Magic.
Really?
I think it's really good.
Well, it's one of your least favorite cards in Magic?
I hate seeing it.
Oh, okay. It has actually my favorite flavor text in the entire game.
What is its flavor text?
Every city has its or every culture has its unlucky numbers. In the plane of Ravnica, where you're either in a crowd, by yourself, or being stabbed in the back, 2 is the worst number of all. I think that it does a great job of like pulling the flavor of the card into the rules of Magic.
Every time I'm on the play and my 2-drop gets Spell Snared, I want to stab someone in the back.
Yeah. Just knife your opponent in Dark Streets of Ravnica. I can see it.
It's just such a beating. I mean, the thing is, it's a narrow card, so it's kind of a variant thing because it doesn't do all that much. But it's such a tempo beating.
Yeah, it's a huge tempo play. It's also great against counter spells. That's really what it's there for, I feel. There's a lot of counter spells. There's a lot of clutch 2-drops in this format, too. Young Pyromancer, Counterbalance, Infernal Tutor, those are all 2-drops. Life from Alone, Chalice of the Void on 1.
Yep.
That's one of my favorite ones to spell.
Pyromancer.
YP as well. Man, Allian's hand is just 3 Brainstorms.
It's hanging out.
The rest of the hand doesn't matter. Finds an Entreat the Angels, finds a Sensei's Divining Top.
That brainstorm is not good.
I like it. Allian's little move there as he reached for the cards, figures out what he wants to put back. Pretty sure Allian just plays the top and passes back. He's been very hesitant to jam tops, and I'm not really sure why. I feel like playing top is the whole reason you play this deck, because you can just kind of sit back behind it.
He doesn't know Solomon's list. He might be playing around Spell Pierces, which don't exist.
But he is going to jam a Counterbalance here instead. Because Tundra Waste, he's on 2 lands. That's a little awkward.
And he's not drawing land this turn.
Nope. He's running an Entreat the Angels. I'm really hoping to counter
That
a
is
Tree
awful.
Name Sensei's Divining Top time. Someone's going to let that resolve.
Solomon has no action there.
Solomon has 2 Lightning Bolts and a Force of Will. He can hardcast Force of Will, but that's not really what he's trying to do. Allian's hand, whereas is juiced, but very low on mana. Usually you don't see the tempo deck with twice as many lands in play.
Screw beats Flood.
That's how I always feel.
I feel like Solomon's very behind right here.
I mean, there's Countertop in play, and he has no threats plus his opponent's at 18.
Still think he's losing.
Yeah, I can see it. Allian's going to respond to this Wasteland with a Brainstorm. Someone's like, yeah, I don't really want to force him with that. He's just letting Allian get a little deeper into his deck. Yeah, Allian's just digging for land at this point. He's going to put a 3 and a 2 back on top of his library.
He is horrifically mana screwed.
Wasteland's good. Get that Volcanic out of there. Pass the turn.
Top.
Finds that fetch.
There it is.
Huge.
Alright, that's game.
It's probably game, yeah. I think he needs 1 more land, but I don't think Solomon's going to be able to apply any pressure until then. End step top. Is it another land? It is. Oh, doesn't even have to correct the fetch. I love when you get to do that as miracles. Oh, it feels so good.
Man.
Land go. Allian's doing exactly what his deck's supposed to do. That Death Right's never going to resolve. Finds another land. Oh,
That was last game he cast the Abrupt Decay, right?
yes.
So Solomon's basically sitting here waiting, looking for a 1-of.
The 1 of Abrupt Decay to be able to deal with his Counterbalance.
I don't know about this point. That he cannot... I guess he can get a drop with that Flooded Strand.
Maybe it's a Gurmag Angler and
Yeah.
Allian blanks
that's
all the
alright.
Swords to Plowshares. Is Solomon about to move a discard though? No, he's got 7. End step Snapcaster Mage. Target a Brainstorm. I'm gonna cast Brainstorm here. Pew pew. See
Yep.
the splash back. Ancestral Recall. Finds Sensei's Divining Top and Entreat and a Counterbalance. The staples of this deck, if you will.
Yeah, I believe Allian's playing Entreat is a 1-of.
Yeah, I feel like you get 3 slots between Mentor and Entreat, and you gotta figure out what the quantity is of both. But I feel like 3 is the right number for those 3 mana finishers. They do very different things and they attack very different matchups, and the way you play them out is very, very different, but at the end of the day, they're both just big threats.
Solomon's playing his cards in a very sad manner.
Yeah, he's not very happy. I like how he threw that land out, he was in the middle of his hand, and he jumped it up with middle fingers. Well, that was kind of cool.
See, I can't stand playing these Grixis decks because I hate losing this way.
Yeah, you hate losing a Counterbalance when your deck has literal 0 interaction.
Yeah, I'd be jamming some more Abrupt Decays or something on my sideboard. Because this is just such an unpleasant way to lose a game of Magic.
It feels like the non-Magic games that you sometimes see in Modern, but only your opponent's playing all the Magic. It's like zero-sum
And it
Magic.
takes forever.
Yeah.
So you're sitting there while they're doing things, and it's like you're losing like in the most painful way possible.
Yeah, you're slowly losing one card at a time to counter
Yeah.
top.
At least like if you're losing to like some type of prison deck, like a stacks deck, at least they spent more than 3 mana to lock you out of casting spells, right?
Yeah, for the entire rest of the game.
Yeah, and at least one of them is killable.
Yeah. And it looks like he's just going to jam another counterbalance. I certainly would. Let's see what happens here. Looks like someone's going to brainstorm in response to the Sensei's Divining Top. Alien's going to top in response. He finds another Sensei's Divining Top. Going to be able to reveal that. Always nice when that
Probably
happens.
gonna shuffle that away, but
Yeah, but you may as well get the free value off of it, right?
sure.
Free value of revealing it. And now Alien just has to do it at end step. He doesn't even have to do it now, so Solomon's locked out of playing 1-drop screen the entire turn.
I think Solomon is about 1/100th as likely to win this game as the last game that he scooped. He
Yeah.
conceded from that
I
point.
think you're right. This game is way more locked. But this game, when it's the match, you're more likely to stick in, I guess.
I don't know if that's the right way to think about things.
I agree. Someone looks like he's
Scar.
honestly on the line of should I concede?
Yes.
There it
decides.
is. There's the pickup.
I think that's the right decision.
Yeah,
This
absolutely.
time.
Welcome back to the booth, guys. So that was the Legacy Preservation Series 1K Magic Tournament here at Card Kingdom.
Hey,
you made it to
Legacy's
top
awesome.
4.
I did.
Alien won the tournament. Great job for him. Solomon came in second.
Hey, congrats to him. He runs well.
Yeah, he runs well. I felt he played that game very well too.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I thought was really cool about this event was the top 8 had 8 different decks. We had no repeats in the entire thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. It seems like, the banning of the delve spells, the good ones anyways, really diversified the Legacy format. I
Absolutely.
didn't like playing it.
Yeah, it
with
was a
Dig
lot
Through Time
different.
or Treasure Cruise, and it's fun to play. I mean, you can it kind of feels like you can play anything. Solomon made it to the finals with, I've never seen a deck
Yeah,
that
it's
looks
effectively a road
very
brew.
much like this. I mean, it's a combination of a lot of cards that are good in other
Absolutely.
decks, but it's definitely not a stock list by any means.
Yeah, it hasn't really been put in this order yet. And, Solomon did a great job with it. He always plays this deck. He does very, very
Yeah.
well with it.
Yeah.
And, it's really exciting to see tournaments like this that have 8 different top 8s. Because I was just looking at some standard top 8s, and it's like, Jeskai
Yes.
Black, Jeskai Black, Jeskai Black, Abzan, and then
Yeah.
one other deck. And it's like, why are we
It seems
watching
like
this?
that always happens with the fall set standard season.
Yeah.
It gets really stale because the card pool is small. So
And
you
people figure out the best decks
figure
and
it
just sit
out
on
and
it.
they just sit on them, and it's like there's not really much you can do about it.
Absolutely.
Sometimes.
So guys, thank you so much for watching. Us here at Card Kingdom, we're really trying to support this format. We're really trying to make it a real thing. And once SCG kind of pulled the plug on Legacy format, some of us got angry. This is our format. This is our baby. And we really want to fight back to keep it. Card Kingdom really wants to fight back and keep it. That's why they're holding these events. These are once a month. Right now, we're only streaming the ones at Card Kingdom. They're alternating between Card Kingdom and Mock Sporting House. However, they will be getting a commentary booth set up very soon at Mock Sporting House, is what I've been told. I'm
That's
really
awesome.
hoping that happens soon. I don't actually work there, so I don't get any decision on that, but all I get is a soon. Hope it happens.
That's right.
But yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. It means so much to us. We're here because we love this format. I love talking about this format. I love playing this format. I love everything about Legacy.
Yeah, it's really fun. I mean, I had a lot of fun playing today.
And for all of you guys that this is the first time tuning in, we run weekly Legacy tournaments every Monday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific. We stream it live here at twitch.tv/cardkingdom. We would love it if you give us a follow, tune in when you can. And then, of course, we have a lot of weekend events that we also try and stream. We've been having some Pauper events, some Vintage events, Legacy as well. We're about to start streaming our weekly Modern tournaments on Sundays at 11 a.m. here at twitch.tv/cardkingdom. If this is anything you're interested in, please give us a follow. Check out our Facebook or our YouTube page. We have a ton of videos there. The YouTube page is youtube.com/moxboardinghouse rather than youtube.com/cardkingdom. But again, thanks so much for tuning in, and we will see you next time.
Thanks.